What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pickleball Connection podcast. I'm Barrett.
And I'm Danea.
And we're super excited to be hanging out with you today. In today's episode, we are going to kind of break down a post that I saw on the Pickleball Forum Facebook page by Mark Renneson. And if you guys don't know who Mark Renneson is, I'd really encourage you to check out PCI on Instagram or their website. PCI stands for Pickleball Coaching International. They're doing some really amazing things. They're just kind of revamping their program, and they're adding some new features as well. So PCI is really dedicated towards growing pickleball internationally, but doing that through building up coaches. And so they have online coaching, they have in-person coaching, they have lesson courses, really like teaching you how to be a coach. And they also have some amazing other resources on their website and on their Instagram. So check out PCI, check out Pickleball Coaching International, and Mark Renneson. He's been around the game for a long time, and he's doing a great job to grow the sport, and he's a phenomenal teacher. So we're kind of work with him a little bit, taking some of that content and kind of revamping it, and we're really excited to see what comes of that. So just a little shameless plug to PCI, but Mark kind of made this post on the Pickleball Forum. I thought it was kind of fun, and it would be a fun thing for us to discuss today, being that we're in the new year of 2025. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to read what the post is. I'm going to read some of these comments, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about it. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, so Mark posted, what pickleball trend do you hope stops in 2025? So pickleball trends maybe that we've seen going on in 2024. Which of them do you not want to continue? Some examples that we see in the comments. This person says the continuation of illegal serves being tolerated. I would say
tracks.
I'd say that's a good one.
Tracks.
Or not just I think it's not just the continuation, but it's the continuation of the confusion around what is a legal serve.
What's freaking legal?
We got to fix that in pickleball.
Yeah.
I feel like they changed it in 2024. And we've even made some videos. If you guys haven't seen the playpickleball.com website or the playpickleball.com YouTube channel, we put out videos every week that are kind of more instructional videos. We've made some videos on the serve, and I have people in the comments that are like, that's not correct.
No
and I'm
idea.
like, well, when we filmed it, it was correct. And now it's changed. So the serving rules feel like they continue to change in pickleball. And so this person says, the continuation of illegal serves should not be tolerated. That's not a trend that should continue in 2025. And I would add to that the confusion of legal versus illegal serves should not continue in 2025. A couple other ones, and then I'm going to get some feedback from you. This person says, me buying Yola paddles thereafter they get delisted. So again, people were upset about...
I mean, note on that. That's a little bit of mine.
Okay, yeah, hold on. Hold yours. I'm going to read a couple more, but I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to hear yours. This person says, players not following rules in rec play, people calling balls out when they're not out, targeting weaker players in rec play, people complaining about lob. This person said, Karens. Maybe they're referring to like a pickleball Karen, like people named Karen, like I don't know.
Not people named Karen, but it's a...
Yeah. It's, I don't know. Interesting comment. This person said the division between tours. We've talked about that on previous episodes. This person says, not being able to play in any of the games I've always loved because I refuse to duper. So this guy's like an anti-ratings
Anti-duper.
guy. So there's clearly a lot of people believing that here's another, people believing that their duper rating is an accurate measurement of their skills.
LOL.
Again, I have nothing bad to say about duper, but this person maybe does. Then this person says twisting your ankle. This person says rally scoring. This person says not calling the score. So I guess people not calling the score before they serve. Conflict and drama on the court, tennis elbow, the price of playing in tournaments should drop. Okay, so we kind of get the hang of it here. There's some trends that have clearly happened in the pickleball world in 2024 that we don't want these to continue in 2025. I got to turn to you, Danea.
Yeah.
What's one of these that really hits?
Both of the ones that I was thinking basically got named.
Okay, expand.
Okay, the first one is the price of tournaments. It's actually crazy to me. So we've been playing pickleball since fall of 2019, which is kind of wild to like say that out loud.
We should be way better than we are by now.
We had no tennis background or anything like that. So literally I always tell people it literally took me years to get to like to get to a high level of amateur play still. Anyway, so that being said, pickleball tournaments now are so expensive compared to what they were.
Yeah.
And I'm talking mainly about PPA, and even APP is pretty expensive now. I'm not talking about your local tournaments. But right now, if you play a PPA tournament, how much is a registration? It's
pricey.
$150.
Well, there's the registration, and then you pay an additional fee per event. I think you should expect to drop if you want to play an event, or if you want to play two events. I would expect you to drop between $200 and $300.
Yeah, and that to me is just a lot of money. Like it's a lot of money.
You've been saying you want to play in more tournaments,
I want to play in more tournaments, but now I'm like, well, I don't really have like $300 of pocket change every other month.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would ideally, you asked me this, you're like, how many tournaments would you want to play? I was like, I would love to play one every other month, but that's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Like, and to think about these people not only having to pay for registration, you have to pay for your food, you have to pay for your lodging, you have to pay for your travel. You know, a lot of these people might have to take off work. You know, it's just like, it's very expensive now to play a tournament, where I felt like it was just so much more accessible before with the price tag of it. Mm-hmm. Granted, I don't think that it should be no money, but like, you know, make it a little bit more reasonable, and then make your tournament experience better.
Yeah. If as an amateur, if you wanted to play 6 tournaments a year, like you said, I think you're probably going to spend between $1,200 and $1,800.
Yeah, just the registration.
Yeah.
Just the registration.
And so, it's not including travel, lodging, all that. So,
yeah.
Hey guys, real quick, I did just want to take a minute to mention Selkirk's newly released CourtStrike and CourtStrike Pro pickleball shoes. The reason I love these pickleball shoes so much is because they were specifically designed and engineered just for pickleball. Now, shoes I was kind of playing with in the past were made for tennis or other racket sports, or I even made the kind of amateur and rookie mistake for a while to play pickleball in tennis shoes, and honestly, that just didn't end well. So the fact that these shoes were so thoughtfully designed for pickleball was really comforting to me. Not only that, they're really comfortable out of the box, and they provide great lateral support for that lateral movement that we all need in pickleball. So if you're interested in getting yourself some of the new CourtStrike or CourtStrike Pro pickleball shoes, head over to Selkirk.com and get your favorite color in your size today. So what was the other one? You said you had 2.
So yeah, my other one has to do with paddles. There's been paddle drama all year around what should be legal, what spin rate should be legal, what power should be legal. And then like, I just feel like we're hearing this paddle's delisted, but then another one comes out, and then a bunch of people play with that. And then they're like, that one's delisted. But then here's the thing. If you're not playing pro, we're seeing all those paddles in rec play and in local tournaments, in local money bowls.
Yeah.
these paddles that are delisted or illegal or even delaminated. I know there's like a bunch of technical terms, but the core is crushed and the paddle's hotter. We're seeing that all in rec play. So I'm just like, I'm tired of not knowing what the heck are our paddle regulations supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it just changes every month. And it's just really hard as a player to even want to go play a tournament because I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm playing against.
Yeah, and that's kind of like I was going to say. There's kind of like a combination, like of your two, like a combination of your pain points. Like we both like we only played in a few tournaments this year, and I know for me it was a bit of an off year performance wise. Like obviously there's health issues with my calf getting torn and that stuff, but we talked about it. Like I saw a big decline in my tournament results, but we talked about, you know, we would come up against these really hot we're not playing with hot paddles, you know, we're playing with very good paddles in my opinion, but like the paddles that we like,
we're not playing with illegal paddles.
Illegal paddles, yeah. I would say we're playing, I guess some of them they're poppy, but they're not like they're considered very legal.
Yeah, we are playing with very legal paddles,
and so
aka Selkirk.
So it's kind of that interesting pain point because we fork out the money to play, and then, you know, in the second round of the tournament or something, we'll have some guy just ripping the ball with one of these paddles that's like the ball moves so much faster than it did a year ago. It's insane. And, you know, I think obviously I could have played better in a lot of those matches too. Like I have I'll take ownership. You know, I think it's not like I played flawlessly and just got beat by a paddle. Like,
right. Yes.
Like I could have played better in a lot of those matches. You know, I think I could learn to not get so tight in those high pressure situations. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm like the paddles make a big difference in not just in how the game is, you know, and how the game's constructed and how the game's played. And especially because we mentioned earlier, we did start playing in like 2019.
Yes.
And so the game has just
it's way different
completely changed since 2019. It's gotten way quicker. You can keep a lot more balls in, so you can hit the ball a lot harder. And we actually kind of prefer to slow the game down. So in the same way,
it's changed to not our.
Yeah. That's kind of like the Johns brothers,
style,
the best men's double team in the world. Like they really preferred to slow the game down, and they started getting beat this year because these paddles are getting out of control, and people can swing harder and harder and harder and keep the ball in and bang, bang, bang. And we're kind of, I think, unfortunately, losing that nuance that I love of pickleball, of these like long, extended, kind of strategic chess-like points where you're kind of like holding your breath because the rally's gone over like 15 to 20, you know, like shots in one rally, like that, those things, like that's what I love about pickleball. And unfortunately, it's like the last tournament we played, it was like in the game that we got eliminated, it was like, or the game that we got knocked out of the main draw, it was like,
it was
average of one or two shot rallies. And obviously we have a lot to work on because of that. But man, these paddles,
it makes a huge difference.
It does make a huge difference. So it's kind of like both of your pain points, like there of like what you want to change is like tournament registration fees need to come down.
I think tournament registration fees need to come down, and I think we just need to freaking have some regulation so that there's not so much discrepancy between paddles.
Yeah, like and that's just it. Like regardless of forget about my results,
forget about
you know, like just thinking about the average player and the growth of the sport and people are wanting, like it was mentioned earlier in this thread, people are like wanting duper ratings to be accurate, right? And I'm like, okay, if you want ratings to be accurate for how people's skill levels truly are, yet there could be these massive swings and advantages on the court with the equipment people are playing with, how much of your results are your equipment versus your actual skill?
And you need to remember, there is no testing on the amateur side.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, we've absolutely played against core crush.
Yes,
you know?
we have. Like,
and that's just it. It's like, I'm talking about just long term for the growth of the sport, for the growth of like things like rating systems. And, you know, it feels like we would be at a much better spot if there was just kind of this equal playing field in terms of, you know, and here's the thing. It's like, I think also it's like these companies that are putting out these paddles are making paddles that are designed to fail.
Yes.
And that's the biggest issue, is that these paddles start to core crush or whatever. And, they start to kind of create this trampoline effect because the paddle is actually designed to break down over time. And, that's one of the things I've really appreciated about working with Selkirk, where we're very fortunate to get to work with Selkirk, and they will not put a product out that is going to crush,
fail.
Yeah, they will. That's one of the things I appreciate about working with Selkirk, is that they will not put a paddle out that's designed to fail. Like, a lot of these companies are putting paddles out, they're just designed to fail. They're designed to crush and create that trampoline effect. So I think that would be the best thing for the trajectory and the growth of the sport, is that we are all playing with paddles that aren't designed to fail.
Yeah.
And we're relying more on the tech of the paddle, not the breaking down of the paddle over time.
It feels like it's like if your paddle gets hotter and faster when it crushes, it's like your marketing is you're just marketing like a way to cheat.
Well, yeah, and I think that unfortunately, people kind of like the way that it feels when the ball's trampoline. It's of course you like the way it feels. Like, I've hit plenty of these paddles before.
You don't have to do any work,
and
you stick your paddle out.
Yeah, you feel really powerful, and you can get away with bad mechanics. You can get away with, and that's where, and you can take your good mechanics and you can even be better. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I think that it's not even like, forget about like personal results or whatever. Like, it's like the trajectory and the growth of the sport. Like, it does feel like there's a big kind of difference in equipment.
Yeah.
From a performance level, at the higher level, especially.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, those are my two biggest pain points in pickleball for sure. Do you have any that you want to highlight?
I don't know if you could hear me in my voice, but it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
we're both like,
it's that same thing. I'm like, yeah, like, I hope that as an industry, we can get to a much better place with the integrity of the products that we're putting out, and the quality of the tournaments and the regulations and the rules. And I think it feels like we're this like teenager going through puberty, like, in pickleball, it's like there's some maturing, I think, that needs to happen in the industry as a whole. And that's kind of what I want to change.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But guys, let us know, kind of what you think should change. What's the kind of trend in pickleball that you want to see change? And we'll put a link to this forum. It's really interesting to read this forum. It's in the Pickleball Forum's Facebook page, but we'll put a link in the description below. And again, this was posted by Mark Renneson. It got like around 400 comments in the first little bit that it was posted. So yeah, again, go check out Mark Renneson and PCI. That's Pickleball Coaching International. They're on Instagram. They have a website. I think they're on other social platforms as well. And guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us on today's episode, and we'll see you on the next one.